Tonight, our special transmission as the International Court of Justice rules Israeli presence in the Palestinian territories as illegal. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Zahra Sayed. Today is the 287th day since the onset of Israel's war. In the past 24 hours, relentless Israeli strikes across the Gaza Strip have killed more than 40 Palestinians. Health officials and witnesses report the bombardments have targeted refugee camps, killing at least 21 Palestinians. This comes as Israeli tanks advance into Rafah. In central Gaza, a series of airstrikes have killed 16 people in Zaweda town, Burej, Nuseirat camps, and Deir al-Balah. The Israeli army has bombed the 9th school shelter in Gaza, killing 2 Palestinians. Bombing at a home in Nuseirat refugee camp has killed at least 5 civilians, including children. Israeli strikes have killed the 2nd Hezbollah commander and a senior commander of a Palestinian resistance group in Lebanon. Both targets have been killed within the past 24 hours. A drone attack in Tel Aviv by Houthis has killed 1 Israeli and injured several others. An Oxfam report shows 94% reduction in water availability in Gaza. Israeli assaults have killed 38,848 Palestinians. A revised report by the United Nations estimates another 10,000 civilians are buried under the rubble. 89,459 civilians are injured. Israel's death toll from Hamas's attacks stands at 1,139. Israel is accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice. The court has ruled that Israel immediately halt its military operations in Rafah. The International Court of Justice has ruled that Israel's continued presence in the occupied Palestinian territories is illegal. The court has demanded an immediate end to the occupation. Nawaf Salam, president of the court, delivered the advisory opinion today in The Hague. Salam says Israel is in violation of Article 49, Paragraph 6 of the 4th Geneva Convention. The article prohibits the occupying power from deporting or transferring its own civilian population into the territories it occupies. Salam says Israeli settlements in the West Bank and East Jerusalem are in direct violation of international law. He says Israel's actions in the Palestinian territories amount to annexation and systemic discrimination against Palestinians. The findings are unanimous from a 15-judge panel. The court is also examining allegations of genocide against Israel in its ongoing war on Gaza. This case has been initiated by South Africa. In a preliminary ruling, the court instructed Israel to prevent genocide and ensure humanitarian aid efforts. The court has also ordered Israel to cease its offensive on Rafah. It has cited severe risks to the hundreds of thousands of Palestinians seeking refuge in the city. Despite this directive, Israel continues its military actions in Gaza, including in Rafah, defying the court's orders. The United States has reaffirmed its commitment to a two-state solution. The news follows the Israeli parliament's recent rejection of a Palestinian state. The Knesset passed a resolution yesterday with 68 to 9 votes. The resolution asserts that establishing a Palestinian state would endanger Israel, perpetuate conflict, and destabilize the region. U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, said a two-state solution is the only future where Israelis and Palestinians can coexist peacefully. She says achieving lasting peace without a two-state solution would be nearly impossible. Thomas-Greenfield declined to comment on the Knesset's resolution. She says, however, the United States is engaged in ongoing discussions about a potential ceasefire deal. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected calls for an immediate independent inquiry into the security lapses leading to the October 7th attacks. Netanyahu says the government's priority is to defeat Hamas rather than divert focus to an internal investigation. He made the comments while speaking at the parliament. Netanyahu also held a meeting with families of prisoners held by Hamas in Gaza. Israeli media described the 3-hour meeting as tense. Footage shows a series of confrontations between the families and the prime minister. Netanyahu appeared surprised when the families described how their daughters had repeatedly warned of an impending attack. He rejected the family's demands for an apology over his role in the security failures. In a surprise move, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has visited troops in southern Gaza. Netanyahu's office announced his visit to Rafah yesterday only after he had left the area. The visit comes days before his scheduled speech to the U.S. Congress. Netanyahu emphasized the strategic importance of maintaining control over the border territory while addressing soldiers. Netanyahu conveyed a sense of triumph over Hamas. He said there are ongoing challenges in achieving a ceasefire. Netanyahu said military pressure is essential for advancing the hostage negotiations. The United States-backed proposal for peace involves Israel's complete withdrawal from Gaza in exchange for Hamas releasing all hostages. However, Netanyahu's insistence on holding the Rafah border contradicts this plan. Earlier in the day, Israel's far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir made a controversial visit to Jerusalem's most holy site. Ben-Gvir, speaking from in front of Al-Aqsa Mosque, reaffirmed his support for Netanyahu's military campaign in Gaza. He urged the prime minister to resist international pressure for a ceasefire deal. Palestinian Foreign Ministry calls Ben-Gvir's visit to the Al-Aqsa compound a provocative intrusion. Experts say the move could complicate ceasefire negotiations between Israel and Hamas. The Israeli parliament has approved an extension to a controversial law to continue the shutdown of foreign media outlets until November. It gained 26 votes in favor and 8 votes opposing the move. The move targets Qatar-based Al Jazeera network and Lebanon's Al Mayadeen TV. The law was first enacted in May. It empowers the communications minister to close foreign networks and seize their equipment if their broadcasts seem a threat to the state. The move is facing international criticism. Many view it as an infringement on media freedom. Vancouver Island University in Nanaimo, British Columbia is pursuing a court injunction to dismantle a pro-Palestinian encampment. The university announced on Monday that it has taken this step after protesters ignored a trespass notice issued last week. The protesters had previously been ordered to leave by July 15th. The university alleges the protesters have vandalized property, disrupted exams, and occupied buildings. The university says the decision aims to ensure campus safety and functionality. Protesting students demand condemnation of genocide, disclosure of investments, and a safety plan for affected students. They also seek the closure of the campus Starbucks. Legal experts say the university's case is strong. They say it may follow a similar course of action as by the University of Toronto. Canada has released its official portrait of King Charles. The portrait has been unveiled a year after Charles's coronation. It was taken last month in Buckingham Palace's White Drawing Room. It features Charles adorned with his Canadian insignia, including the Order of Canada medal. He is shown alongside medals from Canada, New Zealand, and the UK. Queen Camilla's portrait showcases her wearing the maple leaf brooch. The brooch is a historical piece, first given to Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, in 1939. The portraits will be distributed by the Monarchist League of Canada to be displayed in public and private spaces. The release has been met with enthusiasm from royal supporters. However, the Citizens for a Canadian Republic, an anti-monarchical group, has urged the federal government not to spend a lot of money on the portrait or its distribution. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a not-for-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad. Assalamu alaikum.